Hello everyone, welcome to another video today. Today we will continue from where we stopped in the last video. Like you have known, with every of our videos are systematic. They are step by step, one by one, and one after the other. So and we are doing this just to make sure that you get the full concept of this thing. We don't want to rush it. That's why we are going step by step and taking a very simple way. So if you are just coming to this channel for the first time, this is Popular Tech. This is an online bootcamp where we teach people on software development, from front end to back end, to mobile development, to web 3D animations, JavaScript as a whole, and other JavaScript libraries and frameworks. That is not all. There are so many things I will be teaching you also on this channel. So do yourself the favor to subscribe to this channel and also click on the bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video you'll be notified. So let's get started today. In the previous video I introduced the concept of the structure of an HTML document, and I showed you how to create an HTML document. I told you that to create an HTML document you must use .html. This is an extension. Once you save it as .html file, you can run it with your browser. So let me type something in this body section. Now I told you last video that this is the head. I'll show you where this head is on the browser and where this body is. Now anything that you'll be designing, any design you create on your page. For example, in the last video I showed you this website. You see anything from this purple up here, from this purple here to here and downward up to here, that is the body section. Everything is inside the body, but anything from here, from this purple line up here and here up here, everything here is the head section, and this is the title inside the head. I showed you this the last time, in the last video. So this is the head and this is the body. Those are the two main parts of an HTML document. The two main parts of an HTML document is the head and then the body. So every design goes inside the body. Let me just type a text here and say this is the body of the page. Okay, this is the body of the page. So let me save this. Now look at this file. You can see I saved it in this folder. Let me go to that folder and go and check this file and see the way the system, this PC, saved this file about.html, and even these two. Let's go check them out. Let me minimize. I'm on my desktop now. This is the folder. Can you see? It shows that this is an HTML file. The first one is about. The home is also an HTML file. Let's go back to our VS Code. You can see about and home, they are HTML files. Index is JavaScript file. This is just an ordinary file without extension. So when you create any file without extension, that file is just an ordinary file. You can see it's just a file. Look at index that is saved with .js. It says JavaScript source file. Can you see? These two are HTML documents. This is two also HTML documents. Now inside this home, that is where I wrote something. You can see from here. I said this is the body of the page. So let me run it. For you to run this document, to run it on the browser, you can see that it is Chrome that is attached here. It shows that you can run this with Chrome. Then I've already set Chrome as my default browser. I set Chrome as my default browser on my PC settings, so that is why it is Chrome that is here. you can see that there are other browser here. I have Explorer here, Microsoft Edge. I also have Opera Mini, but I don't think I didn't put it down here. So I use Chrome as my default browser. That is why it is to run it on Chrome. If it were to be Microsoft Edge, it will be Microsoft Edge that will be here also. So let me double tap it and run it with my browser. Can you see that this is the body of the page? You can see where the body is starting from anything from this line, from this left like this, all the way to this right here down. That is my body. Now look at my head. The head start from anything from here up, all the way to the left up. That is the head. Now look at this document. Where is this document coming from? It's coming from the head. Go inside your, look at this. This is the head. See the document. This is the title of the page. So the title of the page is always in the head. Look at this website also that I was showing you. Can you see Popular LLC? If I open the code of this, you also see the title section and see that this is what is there. HTML is not something difficult. There's nothing difficult in software development. You just have to have the basic understanding of it. That's why we are going step by step. So this is the title, this is the head section, and this is the title inside the head. This is how you must write it. You see all this meta, you don't need to memorize that. In fact, let me now wipe up everything. Let's start from scratch. So what you need to know is what I want to type now. I explained in the previous video that when you want to write an HTML, you need these two tags. You need these two symbol, rather. I said tags. Tags are something else. So no, these are not tags. These are just less than and greater than symbols that are used in HTML. That's the first thing you do. Then you inside you exclamation mark, then doc type HTML. This doc type HTML, this line tells your browser, whichever browser, in this case we are using Chrome, it tells Chrome that I'm using the latest HTML. So whatever latest HTML features, it must work on my own page. How you get what I'm saying? So that is what this line is saying. This doc type means document type HTML. So let's go to the next line. The next line, we contain the HTML proper. So type this also again. Then inside it's HTML. You can see that. Then you will close it. I've opened it like that. You will close it /HTML. You can see that the editor has closed it. Now there is something doing this in the editor. I asked you to, in the previous video, I showed you how to install some extension. I showed you how to install ES7. This extension is what is doing this now. That's the benefit of using VS Code editor. It's not only VS Code is not the only editor. The benefit of using editor is that you can install some extensions. So VS Code is preferred because there are so many extensions that you can install and use. Instead of you installing heavy software, you just install the extension on your VS Code and you are using it without any problem. Also, some people can use Notepad. I started using Notepad to code my HTML, CSS, but it's not efficient. It's not efficient. As a beginner, I would not advise you to use it. Use VS Code. It makes things easy for you to format the code for you. Now ES7 is what is making this to open and to close by itself. So now you will see that in our curriculum there is what is called HTML tags, HTML elements, and HTML attributes. So I will teach you what HTML elements are and what HTML tags are. Let's get back to our editor. Now you see, starting from here, this word that is here, HTML, is an element in an HTML document. So anything you want to do on your page must be inside this HTML opening and close. This is HTML tag. this HTML element. This is the closing of the HTML element. Now you see, when you put an element, if you just write HTML like this, HTML, this is the element, but it becomes useless when you don't put this less than and this greater than to wrap it. When you put these two together to enclose the HTML element, it becomes a tag. So when you are creating HTML document, we make use of HTML tags. So you hear me calling tags instead of just elements. So HTML itself is an element. There's another element which is head. Head is another element. There's another element which is title. There's another element called body. There's another element called paragraph, short form we use P. There's another one called division, called div. There's another one called section. Section. There's another one called figure. There's span. There's strong. There's EM for emphasis. There's image, and lots more. There's input. These are so many. You can see that these are much. Let me reduce the size so that you can see. So I think this is better a bit. You can see that as I'm typing, even the editor is telling you that these are elements that are recognized. These are elements that are recognized, and the reason being that I've already installed an extension. That extension is already working in my editor. That is why it is identifying them like this. So that's why it's always good to use this editor, VS Code editor. Now I've typed them here, so let me use them. How do we use? These are different elements that we'll be dealing with. So now if you want to create an HTML document, you must wrap everything in this HTML opening tag. You know, I told you that what is inside is the element. You have to make it into a tag. So this is HTML opening tag, and this is HTML closing tag. Now after doing that, inside it I want to create, first of all, my head, then I'll create my body. So let's create the head. Bring out your, type your less than and greater than, then type your head. It is this head we are using now, head. Now I want to close it, then less than. Can you see it's pop what I need to type? It pop it off for me. So I don't want to follow it. Let me just type my own /. Can you see it's completed by itself? That's the benefit of using a code editor. So that's the head section. I'm coming back to the head. Let me also do for the body. Then you type body tag. Can you see it's closed? Now this is the simple structure of an HTML document. This is how it is. As simple as this. How many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. From line 3 to line 6 is 4 lines. Now it is inside. You do not decide what do you want to put inside your head, what do you want to put inside your body. You know, I told you that on this page the head section initially was what was there was document, and this was what was in the body. So I want to put something else inside the head. So inside the head there's another element that we can use to create a tag inside the element, which is title element. So I will create a title tag. Title tag. Now what should be the title of this page? Let me say my demo, or let me say my first HTML. My first HTML. That's what the title of this page. You can see that I didn't put meta tags. You don't need to memorize that. When you start using the extension that I asked you to install in the previous video, it will generate that for you by default. You don't need to memorize that. You don't need to memorize it. So head, this is the title. I'm done with the head section now. For now, just for this demo. So let me go inside the body. What do I want to put inside the body? Let me create a new. Let me say I'm just creating a new HTML document. Then let's save. I've saved this. Go back to your Chrome browser and take note of what is in the title here before I refresh, and take note of what is in the body here. Let's refresh this. can see that they change. My first HTML, that is the title here, this title here, my first HTML. Then I'm just creating a new HTML document. You can see that even this, let me see, you can see that it also show, but it's an error. This is an error because it is outside of the HTML document. Don't make this error. If you do make this kind of error, I intentionally not remove it. You can see, but it displayed it. The bad side of this is that you cannot design this text. You cannot design them as they are. They are just here for nothing's sake. You can't design them. But you see all this text, look at this, I'm just creating a new text that is inside this body element. You can design it with code, but this, there's nothing you can do. This is how it will be. That's the benefit of putting your content within HTML tags. This is a tag. That's the HTML tag, and this is the closing HTML tag. This is the opening head tag, and this is the closing head tag. This is the opening title tag, and this is the closing title tag. This is the opening body tag, and this is the closing body tag. So I'm just creating a new HTML document. Let me remove what is there. We'll be talking about these elements one by one. So this is the basic thing that you need to know. You must know how to create this. You can see I didn't type this from anywhere. I typed this from my head. So you need to know this and be able to write HTML code from your head. Okay, that being said, let's do some other thing inside. So anything you want to be writing should be inside this body. Your design, your structure, whatever storyline you want to create, whatever design you want to create, everything is going to be in this body. So let's do something just like what we did in the previous video. Let's do another HTML tag, header 1. We call it header 1. Can you see the editor? Look at the arrangement of the code. Can you see that there is indentation? Look at inside the HTML. This shows that the HTML, you can see that this is not close to this side. The editor has already formatted it for me based on the extension that I installed. They asked me to install in the previous video, Pretia. Asked me to install Pretia. This extension is what is causing all this to happen. So that's the benefit of, if I didn't install it, everything will just be jam packed together. You won't even know. You'll be looking for head. You'll be looking for it. You're like, where is my head? Where is the body? Where is this? Where is that? That's the benefit of using the extension. Now, another tag I want to use is H1 tag. This H1 tag, we use it to create a very bold header. Let me open this website. You can see this. You can use H1 to create it. Even this, you can use H1 to create this. And also this, you can use H1 to create this. Very soon you will know how to create something like this. You see all these headers that are here, all these headers that are here, you can use H1 to create them. Let's go back to our code. So let's call it popular. Let's call it popular text. Let's see. Inside the body, you can see I put my popular text is a text that I want to display. Now and I use an HTML tag to display it. I hope you get it. Anything you want to display in your HTML document, you use HTML tag to display them. Now I want to display popular text using my H1 tag because I want it to be bold. Now once you put it inside this H1 tag understand that it should make this text to become bolder and big. So save, go to your browser and refresh. Do you see that? Now let me use another tag. We've done this in the last video. Let me use H2 and call it popular text. Save, refresh. You can see that the size is reducing. If you continue to do it all the way to header 6, there is only from H1 to H6. There's no H7. It's H1 to H6. So let me use the last one, which is H6. Let me write popular tech and save. Just take a look. Let me refresh. Can you see H1? This is H2. This is H1. This is H2. This is H6. Can you see the difference in their size? So this, their size, is what determines where we can use them or what we can use them for. For example, you want to write description about yourself. You've written your name in H1. It is not proper for you to use H1 to write about yourself and saying I am Adejo Juairis Adetiloye, I am a software developer and blah blah, and you are using this to write. Look at what is there. Now see this. This is a good example of how we use things like that. Look at this. We use H1 here to write popular investment. It is not proper for you to use H1 here also again to write this description. It is not professional at all. Now take a good look at what is here. Is this not professional enough? Look at what is here. You can see how clean and everything is. Now imagine I change the size of what is here to match exactly this size. So you won't quickly know that this is the description, this is the title. You just think everything is just jam packed together. But with this, any person that come and look at it, they know that this is popular investment. Then this is the description of popular investment. So your design speak a lot. Your design speak a lot. So we're following design rules as we'll be using our HTML. Now look at this also. This popular financial analyst. Can you see? Look at the description. You can see. There's so anybody that see this knows that this is the picture denoting popular financial analyst, and this is their description. The same thing is what is being repeated in the rest. So you need to follow design pattern and rules. So let's do another tag, that is paragraph. The short form for it is P. Now let me write about myself and say, okay, let me write about popular tech and say this is popular tech. This is popular tech, and an online software training bootcamp. Now can you see I'm writing a description. I'm using paragraph to write it. Whenever you want to describe anything or you want to write like anything that has to do, you can see they say paragraph. In your English you did essay, and you know that when you are writing letter and you are writing essay, there must be paragraph. Now they will say write in paragraph, and there is a number of indentation that you will use, that they will make that denote that this is a paragraph. So not that when you are using paragraph it will create a space, but when you say paragraph you want to write a description. For example, they say write about Avocado High School. You've written the title with H1. That's why it's called header, the title, and you want to write about that school. It is not proper for you to use H1 or even H2 to write about the school. Use paragraph to write about the school. Then you can then style it. If the size is too small, you can then style it and make it a little bit bigger. That is design rule. So this is popular tech, an online software training bootcamp. Let me just copy this text, or let me just type anything. I'm just typing nonsense. So just manage it like that. Let's say you save, then go back to the page and run it again and see. Can you see how it shows? Can you see how it shows? It's because I type all this in capital letter. Let me remove them so that it won't look as if it is bolded. It's not. I didn't bold anything. Take this out and take all this out. Is there anything else again that is capital? Take this out. Save. you see, compare this, compare it to this, compare it to that. Now that's what we mean by following design pattern. Following design pattern. So another thing that we'll be dealing with is I talk about paragraph. Let's talk about span. What do we use span for? Let me say this is span. Now, as the word implies, span. What does span means? Let me write this. This span, we use it inside another HTML tag. We use span inside an HTML tag. For example, you should have come across some, let's say you are reading newspaper and they wrote, this is what is going on in Nigeria, or this is what is going on in Africa. By the time they want to start listing countries in Africa, okay, let's say, let me retype what is here. Now, and they say there are 54 countries, or let's say there are more than 200 countries in the world. Abi, now this is the text. Now they now want to make sure that these 200, okay, let me save it so that you see what I'm saying. This is it. There are more than 200 countries in the world. You can see that everything is the same. There is no difference between anything. Now let's say I want to make this 200 to be unique. I want to make it, maybe I want to make it more bolder, or I want to change the color. But I want to change the color of this 200 to make everything is black. I want to make the color to be either red or anything. Now for me to do that, I want to separate this 200. I will just cut it. I will now type span tag, and I'll put the 200 in between. It won't show that there's any difference. It won't show any difference. But the difference will be by the time we start styling. By the time we start styling these HTML tags. By the time I want to style this 200, I will just come to this span. I will give it attributes. It is that attribute that I will use to identify this 200, and I will use that attribute to style it, to design it the way I want. Let me go to my code. You see that there's no difference yet. You see, there's no difference yet because I've not styled it. When we get to CSS, you see how we use styles to design stuff. I hope you get that. So now let's do more. Let me take this. Okay, let me do that span there. Another one that we do is EM. EM is for emphasis. When something is emphasized, you want to emphasize a text. Let me say emphasized. Let's say, go and check it. Do you see that it is italicized? It is in italic form. This also you can use it in another HTML tag. Let's say I want to emphasize this 200. I want to make this 200 to show as if I am placing an emphasis on this 200. That is, there are more than 200 countries in the world. So I want to emphasize this 200. So let me come back to this 200. Instead of making it a span, just cut the span away, then put an emphasis tag here and type 200 in between. Then I've saved it. Then go back to the browser, refresh. You can see there are more than 200 countries in the world. It's not only 200 you can emphasize. You can decide to emphasize anything else. Anything you want to emphasize, just wrap it with emphasis tag. Let me emphasize this more than. Cut it, then EM, then in between put your text and save it. There are more than 200 countries in the world. then refresh. Can you see there are more than, I've already emphasized that this is the text I'm placing emphasis on. There are more than 200 countries in the world. I hope you are getting this. I hope you are getting this. Now this is one of them. This is one of them. So let me use another. There's another tag we use. We use B. B is for bolding text. Let's say I want to make a text bold. I'll just put it in between B and B. Now let me say this text will be bold. This text will be bold. Ctrl S. Then go to your browser, refresh. Can you see this text will, can you see where it is displaying? You can see that I placed it under emphasis text, but it is showing beside it. I'll still show you those things. By the time we are dealing with CSS, you understand some attributes, some characteristics of all these tags, HTML tags that we are using. So the text is bold. Now how do you apply it? Let me apply it in this. So come to this paragraph here. Let me make countries. I want to make countries bold. Come and you cut it, then come here, B, close it, then push your text in between, save. It will make countries to be bold. This will be emphasized. 200 will be a normal text. Countries will be made bold. Then the rest will be normal. So come and refresh. I hope you are seeing what. I hope you are seeing this. There are more than, this is emphasized, this is normal, this is bold, this is bold. Now another thing we want to do is we want to italize words. You want to italize words and you want to underline words. Let me italize this word and make it look, this is emphasis, this is not italic. I know it's a form of italic, but it is emphasis tag that we use to create this. Now I want to italize this word. You now compare it with emphasis. How do we make something to be how do we italize words? Just like to make words bold, we use B. So to make words in italic form, we wrap it with I. So this is an italicized word. I hope you see that. So save it. Come back to your browser, refresh. Do you see? This is an italicized word. Now look at this word. And what is there? What's the difference? What's the difference? Look at it very well. Is there any difference? There may not be different. It depends on the browser that is rendering it. Some browsers, they have been developed to understand different HTML tags. So Chrome is showing it this way. Another browser will let you see the difference between the two. They are not the same thing. They may look alike here, but they are not the same thing. So you must know where to use italic, you must know where to use emphasis. So this has to do with your storyline. What kind of impression are you creating when you are designing your site? Take a good look at this. What kind of impression was I trying to create when I created something like this? When I was creating something like this, what was in my mind was I want something that when people look at it, they will feel that coolness. They must see it. It must be very clean. It must be super clean. So it took me days to come up with this. After making my plan, then I started coding and started making sure that the design must be clean. This design is responsive. It will fit properly on mobile screen because I coded this for both desktop view and mobile view also. So using HTML and CSS, I didn't even use any CSS library. This is just plain CSS and plain HTML. So you'll be learning a lot here. This video is getting too long. I don't want to go more than this. So the assignment for you now, I want to give you an assignment. The assignment I will give you now, assignment is create an HTML document. Create an HTML document about yourself and what you are willing to create by joining, and what you are willing to create that made you, yes, that made you join popular tech channel. So this is a simple assignment. This is a simple assignment that I'm giving you to do, and I want you to submit it. I want to go through it myself, because we are not just creating the video. We want to make sure that you are following. Create an HTML document about yourself and what you are willing to create that made you join popular tech channel. So when you are done, create your document. Create your document. You can upload it to Google Drive and you send it to this number. This is our WhatsApp number. This is Popular Tech WhatsApp number on WhatsApp. So you send to this number. You will create an HTML document. Now you will make use of all these tags. I want you to put your intuition, put your creativity to work now. Put your creativity to work. I want you to make use of this little thing that we've done. This little thing that you've done. Then you will create your file. You can even send me the file. I'll run it on my own system. You can, for example, this is HTML. This is home.html. You can just go to where you saved it, the folder where you saved it. For example, this is the folder. You can just click on it, copy this, then open your WhatsApp and send it to me, and send it to this number. So I will see it and I will go through it. So then I will tell you, I will inform you to let you know how you are actually progressing. I will know if you are actually following this tutorial or not. So we've come to the end of today's tutorial. If you have not subscribed up to this moment, it is very bad. Go to that subscribe button, click on it, and click on the bell icon. So have a nice weekend. See you in another video.